sort of crop around 1,800 acres here. Basically run a TMR dairy system because of the climate. 14-inch rainfall, 350 millimetres of rain in an average year, and we haven't had average years for just a little while now. But we've just adapted the dairy to the sort of the system we got here, which means we just accumulate everything we can from the hectares that we've got available off the moisture that falls out of the sky. Over the years we've innovated by confining them for a start. I gave up grazing quite a while ago, back in the 90s, and we just worked on then utilising the land, like I said, getting its maximum dry matter off each hectare, and then once you start sort of have a feed pad operation, you've got to keep refining those sorts of things. So we're looking to build quite a significant shed structure as shade, because we get quite hot up here. It gets up to, we've had over 45 degrees several times this year, actually hit 49 I think for a record back in December, and so we just feel that these sort of climatic events kind of keep coming, that we've been having them all the time. But when you've got a herd of cattle that's sort of genetically that they can produce milk to whatever you put into them, we just think that the next step would be to actually protect them from the sun. Yeah, the innovation, I suppose, was just adapting to what you'd seen around you. There's other people who have been doing it and doing it successfully, and just taking on their mistakes as well, and what their learnings were, and just applying it to our farm. And to me it just made a lot more sense because of the climate we live in, and the fact that I can't graze really. I've probably got a 2-month window at the best if it was a really good year, and it's just the way to go for me. Dairy discussion groups are fantastic, and when you've got a facilitator then that will take a busload of you to another state, have a look around. You go through Northern Vic and other parts of the world and just see how much of it's already done in places, and what they're doing, and you see some quite substantial operations, and simple things like harrowing the pens that the cows are camped in, just their loafing area, just keep it dry and clean on top, mixing up the cow manure, things like that. We've only adapted over the last 3 or 4 years. I sort of had to be hit over the head a few times, sort of cell counts creeping up, what can I do? And the vet says, well, why don't you just do this? That's what everyone else is doing. We always keep adapting by using different varieties and different crops, type of crops. In our case, we sort of grow vetch for protein. That's our number one. We can't do the lucerne, so we go with the vetch. So the adaptation, even harvesting, we do high moisture grain sometimes, which is just reaping grain at 35% before it's fully dried down. It gives us a high dry matter yield per hectare, and gives us a product that we can feed straight back out because it's been cracked and crimped and stored. So there's lots of things you can do it just takes a bit of thought. You've obviously got to weigh up the costs of things, but there's always something you can do, I think.